Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning and glad to be back on the show. First, I want to thank Bill Allen and his guest Jeremy. What a good show they did on the turkey hunting. Then I want to thank Billy Grantham and his guests, and what a great things going up there in Jackson County with the Blue Springs and the boat ramps, and it's been I thought about it, it's been a blessing in disguise as far as I know. The hurricane really hit us hard, and we don't want another one. At the same time, though, we've gotten a lot of money to do a lot of things for different boat ramps and all kind of good things that we're able to do, and not just number one, just rebuilding people's home. We got help on that, and even some of the people lost their timber. We got some government money and all. So not everybody, but I know some people did. So that's good. And I'm glad you shared that with us. And Jackson County has a lot going. You're right, Billy. It's a miniature sportsman's paradise, sort of like Louisiana. You got a little bit of everything in there. Okay, let's move on with our weather. High 79, low 60, and water temperature 71. Moon phase brought to us by Mountain Dew. Last night was a new moon, so now we're going to start waxing and start building up. In about 2 weeks, we'll have our full moon. This is a big full moon coming in here, folks, and as far as it concerns on outdoors and fishing and all, the full moon of April and May, two of the best, especially in fresh water. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at still a neap tides high today at high this morning going to be at 10 o'clock, and low's going to be at 7:07 tonight. Be going out, and our tide chart is just is something I really go by as I'm planning outdoors and all, especially to tell me where I want to go fishing, or maybe not going fishing at all. I want to also mention one of the big things, and all you fishermen will be talking about it, was the amount of rain on the rivers and all, how it affects the chocolate hatches. So much different from the affecting the Apalachicola, and the Chipola is affected by the rain in a different way. But it's all, the weather, people say, why do you even do the weather? It's just so important when it comes to outdoor activities, and I just, continue to do it. So let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. People want to know, was I sick or something? Usually I don't miss the show for about two reasons. It's either family or either fishing, and that's some kind of outdoor activities. I do want to tell you, we've gone up to Franklin, Tennessee to see Wendy and the family, but really went up there to watch Mason, our grandson, run track meet. He's running track, and he always loved track, so we actually drove 9 hours to watch him run for 2 hours and 10 minutes, and drove 9 hours back, actually a bit longer because there was a wreck on the interstate. But it's just, we enjoy doing it, and I enjoy being around them and all. So that's so nice though to have the substitutes, my substitute teachers, the substitute hosts come in and do such a great job, and I enjoy that. I enjoy watching it myself. It's just fresh breath of air to see those guys come on and all. I know y'all get tired of looking at me all the time. So anyway, that's what we're doing and all. And we, there are only so many. He has only so many track meets left, and then it's over with. Just like Ashley has so many volleyball games, and it's over with. So you know what I'm talking about. So I try to drink in as much as we can and just enjoy it, and we do enjoy that. So I would urge you to participate in all your family activities, because they won't always be in those activities. We want many more people to take to practice. All right, let's pictures. Let's look at some pictures. I want to mention also. This time of year, last Thursday night, I was invited to City Church. Steve Rogers called me. City Church here in Panama City, formerly north side, they have a very active men's group, and they decided it's time for them to get back together. They've been for 2 years now. They haven't been able to do anything, and they had a men's barbecue. And I want to urge you. I want to show you. I just took a couple of pictures of it. And it was really. Let me see. Let me find it on here. Here we go. Okay. Welcome, City Church Men's Big Bad Barbecue and live music. So I just snapped a couple of shots of it. Of course, they give away all kinds of stuff. And what I want to concentrate on, these rods right here, they're custom made by Steve Rogers. And they gave away some of those and all that stuff, big screen TV and everything. And these rods, I want to give you Steve's address right here. He makes custom rods. If you want one made different colors or something, give him a call. He does quality work. He's just a fine outdoorsman, just a good man. And that number right there for customized rods. So anyway, we're just here's, let's see, the Lewis family. That's a couple of generations there. Everybody's just having a good time. Men's barbecue. All right, this special guest here. It's really neat to see everybody and some of our viewers. And then they had a bluegrass gospel group come up, and they were, let's see, they just really did a good job. So I just want to encourage so many groups of these churches all throughout the Panhandle have had these men groups that have done things and all. Of course, we've all had to stop because of the pandemic and all. If you feel comfortable, you and your church folks feel comfortable to start doing again, by all means, let's get back to doing them. And you can always call me up. I'm going to try to come. I'm not going to sing or anything, but I love to come and fellowship with so many people that love the outdoors and love the Lord the way so many folks like us do. Also, the ladies, I know Gail and Wendy were active when the ladies did some weekend stuff. I think it was called Hope for the Heart, with fancy dishes. And it's good for the ladies to get together and do their stuff, and good for the guys to get together and do their stuff. And it's just a good thing. So I want to encourage y'all to start doing that and think about planning it for next year or next fall or whatever. So anyway, let's move on. Got some questions about, are the Spanish still here? And well, the answer is yes. Hey, Winston, Spanish still here. Friend and I caught a limit back in time for lunch. That was fun, okay? GG Hunt's over there in Chipley. Look at those Spanish right there. Good job. I didn't get this in recently, but I did this is last season. Chris Claghorn and Vernon killed this fine 15-point while hunting during bow season in Caryville. This past season, this was a hard deer to hunt. And he finally got the opportunity to take them at 60 yards. And look how big, this was just a big buck. I appreciate y'all sending this picture in to us because this was a fine buck here. Up there, that's not that far up the road. Good job there, big buck, Claghorn Outdoors. Now let's talk about the Pompano, Travis Strayer. I'm gonna show you some different locations. They caught them on sand fleas at the Panama City Beach Pier. It sounds simple, don't it? Because they were out there. Now let's go back to let's go to Pensacola Beach. I just want to show you how all along we'll talk about this. Them coming in and migrating. This is over at Pensacola Beach. And and then one more, let's go back to Navarre. So that's 3 different locations this past couple of days where they've caught plenty of pompano. Okay, that was pink sand flea fish bite. So I wanted to make sure, when we're talking about, the spring run and all, the Pompano Run is here. Comes in April. We've had a Spanish run. They're still out there. And the Pompano are in good shape. I'm going to talk a little bit later about the Pompano, about what's going on right now, but I just want to show you some pictures from Pensacola Beach, Navarre, and Panama City Beach, and I promise you can go down to St. George Island and get those same pictures right now. So it's been a really good run. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Y'all are so good as a viewing audience to answer a question. Somebody will, text in a question or email me a question, and I'll throw it out on the air. You're all so good about finding answers. And this first question I was asking about, are there any more Red Holland brim busters around? And I mentioned on the show last week, and 2 or 3 folks. One person said they're over there in Bruce, a little store right there in Bruce. They have some Red Holland brim busters. Now I got this message right here from Lamar McGee. And it says King in Chipley has Red Holland poles. If you check them out, they are made in China now. But the Hick Brim Buddy is the same pole made in Luverne, Alabama. So that's interesting. So thank you, Lamar, for sharing that information with us. It's a good thing to find those things. A lot of times, like I said, these small tackle stores and all, out-of-the-way tackle stores will just have some of those things. And I remember when we were collecting fishing tackle, when I first got into fishing tackle, I found some old tackle at some of these old fishing stores that just sort of on the back shelf and all still in the box. And they said, "You mean you want one of those?" I said, yeah. He said, "Nobody bought any of these in 10 years. I just have them back here." So, just check out those old tackle stores. All right, now let's talk about the Pompano Run for a minute. Got a call from we all talk about the Pompano Run, and then Scott Lindsay happened to call me, and he told me, just flat out said, Winston, I think this is the best Pompano Run since 1972. And when Scott Lindsay says it has a lot of weight because he's fished here a long time. His son's fishing now, and he knows, he's an expert in Pompano and always has been. And we've always shared our notes and talked about different things and all. And one of the things he told me about was that what we've always talked about, what a great run in 72. And we always talk about what the Pompano did in the wintertime. They hang around, but not, there's not that many of them, but we still have that wave of them. So I got to thinking about when I went to the Florida Sportsman Show, which had those shows. There was a guy I ran into over there that we just bonded just like that because he was a Pompano fisherman from Jacksonville, and he had a commercial license to do it, and he was actually doing. We were doing a clinic. Captain Roy and I were doing a clinic on fishing, and we had different clinics at the Florida Sportsman Show, and his clinic was on Pompano fishing in the surf on the Atlantic coast. So man, we hooked up and talked the whole weekend, and we became friends. I haven't heard from him lately, but I saw someone on one of the fishing pages said, "Hey, this guy, I just found out about this guy named Larry Finch, and he knows his Pompano." I thought to myself, duh, does he know Pompano? And this was years ago that we talked, and so last night I went up the stairs to look at my old DVDs, and I found where I did an interview with Larry Finch over here in Fort Walton at the fairgrounds at the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show. And he just, that's what he does. And he believes in, this was before the fish bites came out. He just believes he always fished with sand fleas again. But what I want you to notice during the interview is, notice how he was able to just follow the Pompano Run and how much attention he paid to the water temperature, which is what we talk about every day, the water temperature. And that's one of the reasons we do, because these folks put a lot of solace in it. And so a lot of information in it. So let's go ahead and Jeff, let's go and put this video, and then we're going to come back and do a fishing report up here on the TV. Okay, we'll be right back. Hi folks, I'm here with Larry Finch. Larry, listen, I watched him last year do a clinic, and I met him last year, but really got to know him this year. This guy's a good fisherman. Now he fishes on the Atlantic coast in the Jacksonville area.
In the Jacksonville.
So I want to just tell our viewers about some of the top things. I know I watched your video, and then I've seen your presentation, and I know you catch a lot of fish. And how long have you been fishing?
All my life. I mean, 40 years in Jacksonville, so we can contribute, a lot of years of pompano fishing or red bass fishing or trout or flounder.
We were talking about comparing some of the things. I was interested. You talked about the water temperature. I'm comparing the Atlantic coast to the Gulf Coast and the Pompano and all. And you were talking about your magic number is what degrees?
67 degrees.
67. I talk about mine 68. So that is so close and all. But tell us your season over there. They migrate from the Carolinas down your way.
They're just like the Yankees. These fish move south when the weather gets cold in the northern part of the state.
Yeah.
They start migrating to the south.
Okay.
And so I started in Fernandina Beach chasing these fish, and I was lucky enough that in November when they were coming through, I was at Little Talbot Island. That's between Jacksonville and Fernandina.
Yeah.
And I wore them out.
Now, how many were you catching a day? I know you were catching.
Well, that particular day I had 42 fish that were over 3 pounds.
Now, keep in mind, you have a commercial license.
I have a commercial license to catch.
You know the limit. Yeah.
I know the limit. They have to be at least 11 inches long. But I turn back a lot of pompano.
Yeah.
I catch them, and if I'm doing a recreational trip, I do 6 fish. If we went out to catch them, to do a video or something like that, I take a recreational limit. When I take a picture, I take a recreational limit like that. But I'm allowed. I could never reach it. I'm allowed to take 250 a day.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to catch
So they come down your way through that period of time, and then how long do they stay in your area?
Well, until the water gets down. This particular day in November, when I was doing the article for the Florida Times Union there in Jacksonville, and I caught all those pompano. The next day, with this cold front coming through, the weather was about 30 degrees that day, cold and blowing. The next day, I went back to the same area, same tide, that same bait, didn't lose the bait. Got a call, they were at St. Augustine. That same school of fish moved overnight 30 miles down the beach.
Hey, well, that's a great point in fishing right there. That's how the weather affects them so much.
The weather, it drives them.
Yeah.
That water temp drives these pompano, and that's the reason they were supposed to be at Sebastian Inlet and West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Now, when they got to Daytona and New Smyrna Beach, they got there, the water temp was 60s. It jumped up to 67. They stopped, and they've been there all winter. They're not supposed to be, but they're ready for that spring migration back north.
Back north.
So they missed out on it at Sebastian Inlet this year.
That's very interesting. I love comparing these notes on the Gulf Coast and Atlantic Coast. And I know we could talk hours about it, but briefly, how do you recommend catching a pompano?
In the surf.
In the surf.
I prefer surf fishing over boat fishing with jigs. Live sand fleas that I catch. That's candy to them.
Okay.
That's their number one bait. So I go to an area where there's a lot of sand fleas, and I take my rake and I catch these sand fleas, and I fish right where I'm catching them. Right where the bait is. I walk down the beach until I can find a bed of periwinkles, which is a small clam. That's what they're feeding on, sand fleas and periwinkles. And that's where I set up camp. Okay. And I wait for them to come to feed.
It's not rocket surgery, is it?
It's not. And that's what makes this so great. I can share it with these people. I've taken 35 years of pompano fishing, and in a 2-day period, I've shared it with hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Something I've worked out over a period of 35 years.
Yeah, and you've got all kind of gadgets here. I'm going to share them with our viewing audience later on during the week and all. And I just want to congratulate you on just a fine presentation, just a great job as a fisherman.
Thank you, sir.
Panhandle Outdoors.
It was a pleasure.
Larry Finch out of Jacksonville. Everybody, give him a call.
Call me. That's it.
Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. You see the technique and all what Larry used, and he's a good man, a good fisherman, and I enjoyed being around him. This is why I'm talking about wishing we had those Florida sportsman clinics again, because you're running all kind of people like that. And you can now with YouTube and all, you can go online and find him and different things he does. But like he said, he would follow it. And you saw, he just got tons of sand fleas he uses. And like I said, also he's a conservationist. He'll throw back the ones that are not big enough and all. So I hope you enjoyed it. Larry Finch over there in Jacksonville. I need to run into him again next time I go over that way. Let's look at fishing game time today. First brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down at Port St. Joe. We're looking at 12/16 to 2/16. Now, with me missing Friday, we missed a Friday fishing report, so I wanted to just give an update on it on a Monday. At times it's good to give on Monday because you get a recap of the weekend, but this past weekend was pretty hectic as far as outdoors. Now, what I want to show you, we're going to go to Google Earth. Well, Google Earth didn't want to cooperate this morning. It's taking the Monday off, so next best thing, Jeff got me hooked up with my map app, and it's a little shaky also this morning. But what I wanted to do, I was thinking about when I was driving back the other day, driving back home, a little bit longer than I thought. We waited in line 2 hours for this wreck to clear up, and I was thinking, what can I do for the show? I thought, what about the spring hot spots? And I was going to, that because we're right in the middle of spring, so I did want to talk about some of the spring hot spots, and I was going to start down on the eastern end, work from east to west, but I can't really pull up everything I wanted to, but I'm going to pull off some of them. And my first one was down there around Ball Point and all, but we'll talk about that later. So I want you about White City, and y'all know where White City is, so I don't think I can get it on the map right here, but keep white out on it. But put it in White City, you can go to Lake Wimico, and also you can put in Depot Creek and go to Lake Wimico. Lake Wimico is good fishing in the springtime. It's really fishing is really good in it, and we got that wind coming today out of the south, and I double checked it. It's in single digit today, south at 8. First time in single digits since about 6 weeks, the whole month of March, and in 2 weeks in April it's been double digits. So on a day like today, with single digits, with a small boat, you still get in Wimico. You can even go down from Saws Creek. So you can get to Lake Wimico 4 ways from east, west, and north and south. And just find those spots in there and different ways to fish. But spring fishing is really good, and that would be one of the top places I go. And also put in White City and go up to the Intercoastal, and a little cut through canal is always good for speckled trout, especially when the water is moving pretty strong, after it starts moving strong, and then it's just sitting there, really good movement with your lure. Then I came on over here to East Bay, and again, we haven't talked much about Sandy Creek lately. Captain Roy and I, we had some good times on Sandy Creek. That's one of all the places he goes, that's one of Captain Roy's favorite places, Sandy Creek. So as you go into Sandy Creek, you've got the East Bay area, you go up there around the old Allenton area, the shipyard building area, and across the bay. It's pretty noisy around the shipbuilding area, but go around across the bay, and then go down south in an area. You can work you can actually work the. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull it up. You can work the flats there. So, and then from East Bay, as you put in now. Next spot would be again put in a Cargrave Park, and coming up around Beach Drive, trolling for the Spanish now. Fishing for the redfish behind Shell Island. That's going to be really good. The grass. I've talked to people and all. The grass looks like it's hanging in there. You know, we missed a lot of it, but there's some good grassy spots back behind Shell Island. And if you're going to go around Grand Lagoon, it's going to be real busy. So you go up in West Bay. West Bay has always been a good. I got West Bay here. West Bay's always been a good standby. Right, the whole West Bay area, it's been a good. Just looking at a map here, you've got all these different points on West Bay. Okay, and I can't. Okay, again, you got two feeder creeks. The feeder creeks up the top. Okay, then you have over here West Bay. Again, I want to mention the West Bay Bridge. We're gonna run out of time, but the West Bay Bridge, put in there and go out into the western part of West Bay. Get a little bit deeper water off the canal there, and that's going to be good fishing there. I'm running out of time. Hopefully we can pull up Google Earth next time they'll cooperate. You have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.